What's up, YouTube? Back on another video today. We got the before you buy, because Gameranx gotta mook that sparkle, and you don't get 10 things you should know and then a before you buy. That's kind of the same thing. You see? So let's see what the difference is.
Welcome back to another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight-up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. Hi, folks, it's Falcon, and today, I never thought it would happen. Seriously,
you got it on.
Like
you got it on. You got it on PC. Cause I only got it on PC, bro. I only got it on PC. I don't got it on PS5. I don't really play the PS5. I just got it on PC. I got like almost most. I feel like I got most of the characters. I might have like 160 out of like 182 of them. PC. Oh yeah. We can do this after this.
There is finally a new Budokai Tenkaichi. For a lot of us, these were the definitive Dragon Ball games for years and years. Yeah, Fighters is great, but it's a 2D team-based fighting game that it's not quite Dragon Ball in the way Budokai Tenkaichi is. And that's why, even all this time later, there's still a dedicated fan base who are dying for some kind of return to this series. It's just that nobody expected it to happen. So sitting here and actually playing Sparking Zero is kind of a mind-boggling experience. It's like I'm back in 2007 and no time has passed. Obviously, it is a better-looking game. Mechanically, they've made some improvements and refinements, but for the most part, this is Tenkaichi 4. It feels like a game from a bygone era, which is a really good thing, and also in a weird way, a little disappointing, but only just a tiny little bit. For the most part, I'm kind of just like, yeah, thanks. So let's get into it. If you never played one of these games before, I don't blame you. They're incredibly old, and if they're incredibly old,
the last one came out 17 years ago. I was 4 years old when they came out.
I played the hell out of them. The closest comparison I can make is they're kind of like an arena fighter. You have a full 3D range of movement, large arenas to fight in, and the core fighting systems are more about style and substance. Everyone has the same inputs, and controls are basically the same, but their special moves are different, and they all tend to have a few variations on attacks, and that's basically the thing that makes them unique. What makes the game different from the many mediocre anime arena fighters out there is the combat. It's really fast. Everyone's teleporting all over the place, rocketing through the air, deflecting, countering.
There's certain mechanics that still like
watching it, but when
I understand, but I can't pull off the combination of button presses
to suck you right in. Plugs right into your brain, and you're suddenly Mac from Always Sunny making karate moves and swishing sounds and stuff. This crap goes deep inside you. That sounded horrible. I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
it's intuitive and feels good. Okay, that sounded bad too. I'm not doing this on, but I'm just gonna move past. I'm moving past it. And maybe I was exaggerating a little. It might take you a little while, but I don't know. It's not a long time. This is one of those games you're gonna get. Other important thing about these games, they had a lot of playable characters. And Sparking Zero has by far the best representation out of all of them. This may be the...
See, my thing about that is certain characters are different. Some of them aren't. Because, like, honestly speaking, like, Super Saiyan God Goku, he has the telekinesis that he did to Broly so he can stun you. It is different than Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, they are all different characters, but I'd say that might be where you could appreciate Xenoverse.
The biggest roster in a fighting game ever. There are, and I'm not joking,
you can't switch out the abilities.
180 fighters in the base game. Pretty much every major character from the start of Dragon Ball Z to the Tournament of Power arc in Dragon Ball Super is here, along with a bunch of minor characters too. They've got guys from Dragon Ball GT. They got most of the bad guys from the movies, including both versions of Broly. There's all the classic villains and heroes in pretty much all of their various forms. It is a stacked roster. Sure, a significant chunk of the cast is different variations of Goku, but it's not all just repeats. There's a lot of fun additions and deep-cut characters here. I can't complain about the roster size at all. And what makes it even better is the game includes the ability to transform and do a fusion dance in battle, just like the old games. It's one of those unnecessary things that probably makes the game unbalanced, but it's just so...
Yes and no, because I figured out, because, I'm a Goku Black man, and I figured out, because the first day, it didn't help that I was drinking while playing the launcher early access. You can, in order to get Murzamatsu, like mid-battle Murzamatsu, because you can fuse them together even if you don't have the character unlocked. I just realized today. But Goku Black has to be Super Saiyan Rose to merge Potara fusion with Zamasu, which honestly I don't know how like good that is, because remember you need the transformation stock, you need the skill stock, so essentially you need like 4 stocks to even merge, to even go from Goku Black to merge Zamasu in game. And I know you get like 4 bars, but you gotta remember I think they both have 3 bars. I haven't played enough in match to figure out how good it is, because you gotta remember that's 2 characters, and in a competitive, those would be 10 points, which I think Murzamasi might be like 8. So you'd be able to fit like a Chaozu or a Goldo or like a Videl or or something to go with the second one, which wouldn't be as strong. But I feel like the health bar still is weird.
So
it's
cool.
Weird.
Who cares?
I haven't
this
played
game
enough
is about fan service
more
than competitive balance. But that doesn't mean it's mechanically light. It does actually have some depth to it. There's really just nothing else like it on the market.
Like
some recent Dragon Ball games have attempted to ape this style a bit, like Xenoverse and the Kakarot game. But those are more like action RPGs. The combat's simpler, and it's not nearly as intense as what we've got here. There was some concern Sparking Zero would dumb everything down and make it less intimidating for newcomers. Doesn't do that. There's a lot of mechanics going on here, and it takes a while for everything to click. I basically knew what I was getting into going in, and I was still getting my butt kicked on the regular. It's just such a different combat system from every other game. Obviously not the other Tenkaichi games, but every other game. So it took a little while for the muscle memory to kick in, and it did. I would suspect that for newcomers it might take a little longer. That was why I said that earlier. But hey, the game starts with a short tutorial that gives you the absolute basics, but that's not going to be enough to jump into the rest of the game on normal. My recommendation is to hit the advanced tutorial.
Yeah, what confuses me is a lot of counters is circle, but like V vanishes
are going to be miserable.
So
of course, you can just turn down the difficulty, but the game doesn't want you to do that, and there's reasons why you don't want to. So your best bet's to just knuckle down and go through the tutorials. They're not the best, but they give you a
so you can play on easy mode for all the canon missions. The only thing that normal / hard mode does is it allows you to get the what if counterparts of the story. But if you just want to play vanilla Dragon Ball story mode and go through that, you can play it all on easy and it won't limit anything, I believe. You still unlock the characters and everything. But if you want to get the what ifs, like what if Raditz, if Goku decide to go alone without Piccolo, or if you want to see what happened if you kill Cell before you
decent overview of how everything works.
You can't do that.
If I am completely 100% honest about it, playing the game is going to teach you more, but you're still going to want to go through these tutorials.
No,
like I said, the game is kind of intuitive and burrows into your brain. But you may want a primer. It does give you a basis to work from, and that is
especially
better
if you
than
haven't
nothing.
played any
You might think that the main game mode
like
episode battles would be a good way to learn the game through playing.
The AI
depending on how your brain works,
it's
not.
Don't do
it throws you in the deep end. Minute 1, it's very difficult on normal if you're just starting out. I wasn't just starting out. Like, I know how these games work, and I was getting schooled by Raditz. Was pretty embarrassing. Basically, how it works is you have 6 different character stories you can follow that recap the events of.
You got 8. This is how you know he hasn't played the game as much, because I forget what you have to do, but you see Goku, you see Jiren or Future Trunks saga isn't episode battles aren't there yet, but it's 8 confirmed, but you only see 6. So yeah, he hasn't played enough to do it.
Dragon Ball from their perspective, but sometimes you're given an option to do something different, which can put you on a different path that leads to different fights and possibly different rewards. A lot of these branches come from winning battles that, well, to be frank, your character canonically lost, and completing them can be a challenge, to put it mildly. Turning down the difficulty will not help on these either, because if you do that, you can't complete secondary objectives, so the whole unique gimmick of...
And I'll be honest with you, a lot of them, because since there's so many mechanics to where infinite combos don't exist in the game versus computer, since the computer quite literally will read your inputs and they will just stop you from doing that infinite that you'd be able to do with, let's say, someone whose controller was put down. You can't defeat the character like that. It'd be more like you gotta spam sparkle. I'll be honest with you. Like in my playthrough, that I think I don't think if you watched yesterday's stream, you would have saw it, but I don't think the YouTube video has been uploaded. Where in order for me to defeat Raditz in the time frame before Piccolo charges Special Beam Cannon, I had to use sparking mode like 3 times, because after I combo, I get like 2 to 3 combos in, then I'll string the combo with the ultimate, which will do like 20. That's what I'm saying. It's only a certain amount of like moves that are surefire that the characters can't get out of.
The mode is locked out. It's a fun mode, but man, is it unforgiving at times. There are fights where you got to take like 4 guys in a row on a single health bar. The nature of this game is that things either swing wildly in your favor or they can go very badly very fast. So long marathon battles like this can be especially rough. In comparison, the other main game mode of the game, custom battles, is quite a lot.
Custom battles are interesting because I was playing the Welcome to the Frieza Force one, and I don't know what the objective of that one is, because I defeated everyone, or I think I got Frieza's HP low enough to where he just instant killed me and I failed the mission, or I think I defeated him and I lost. And like that one, you just win, and that one you fight to win. But in Master Roshi's training, because I've only played I think these 4. In Master Roshi's training, you have to defeat him in rock paper scissors. But Master Roshi, like, there's dialogue.
It's honestly the most fun I had in the game. So. Just playing through all the goofy bonus battles they include in the game as examples for the player to make custom fights with. The central part of this mode is you can make your own dramatic battles with.
From what a lot of episode battles and custom battles, or those custom battles that the game creators made, when you complete them, you actually get you can unlock those characters and costumes. So doing this one, I think, doing the Turles one unlocked Turles for me, but I already had Turles, so it just converted it into, I think, the currency I would have got if I bought them. So a lot of that is good.
Dialogue and special objectives. They let you create any matchup you want as long as you're personally able to finish the fight. So if you've ever wanted to, I don't know, have Babidi take on Ginyu Force, you can do that. It's a fun idea, and I like the game has a built-in viewer so you can connect online and see what other players are doing. But the execution does feel a little thin, to be fair. Just a little too limited with the customization. There's only so many special objectives and events you can insert.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you can tell that, I wouldn't say necessarily it was the afterthought, but you can tell a lot of games, this is the whole thing. Like with Mario Maker, that's the whole thing, is the character, the level creator, custom levels. So with the whole game, with the episode battles literally being super fleshed up, 15 plus battles that go beyond the canon for every character has one major. I think I only know of maybe 3 to 4. So that's what I'm saying. Every character has a huge custom divergent path from the canon story. So if you have those huge ones, which a lot of my voice lines too, actual character voice acting lines. So a lot of the game was, one, just rebuilding Budokai on an Unreal Engine 4 or 5, and then 2, creating the new what ifs. So this was probably not the first thing they thought about.
And here's the biggest issue: you can't write your own dialogue or title. The game just gives you a bunch of stock phrases to choose from and some keywords to insert, and it can be awkward and a little nonsensical. Don't get me wrong, there is a certain type of person who will find it the funniest damn thing in the world.
Yeah, from what I've seen,
to him talk right now, but I don't think that's going to be for everybody. To be fair, a lot of the built-in scenarios have dialogue that barely makes any sense. The whole system probably works better in Japanese, but hey, guess what? I am not Japanese, and the people who wrote this dialogue are definitely not English. Personally, I like putting dialogue together that just it really makes no sense at all. I think that's hilarious, actually. But I would also like to be able to do it right. It's just not there. Too. But to be fair, they're still pretty damn fun. I like the game gives you an excuse to use the entire roster rather than the few main characters. There's some legit clever missions that help learn how certain guys play. Like one where you're Captain Ginyu. You got to swap bodies with your opponent to win.
Hold up.
This other one where you're one of the
Say that one more time.
stupid Captain
who?
Jinyu. You got to help learn how certain guys play.
Say it one more time, sir.
Like one where you're Captain Jinyu.
Captain
you got to swap bodies with your opponent to win. Or this other one where you're one of those stupid little Sabaymen, and you have to self-destruct to take out the much stronger team.
Sabaymen?
Where you're one of those stupid little Sabaymen, and you have to self-destruct to take out the much stronger team.
Bro, don't let him cook again.
The actual creative features are a little lacking, but there's so many built-in bonus fights already that the game has enough to keep me busy. Like I said, it's maybe a little bit too limited, but that's not enough to make it not fun. It's not even really enough to make it not great. It's still great. Before we get into anything else, I do want to take a second to talk about how great the visuals are. They are not quite as good as Fighters, and that game is built to be viewed at very specific angles, so it's kind of how and why. Those visuals are not really possible to replicate here, but still everybody looks on model and anime accurate. Anytime you pull off a big ultimate attack, that's really when they pull out all the stops. That's when the animation's fantastic, and the destruction that can be wrought on these stages, oh, it's good. It's so good. The arenas give this game so much freaking character, especially the city ones where you can just smash everything in sight. I love the little detail when you use a super attack in a stadium and the game stops and the spectators clear out. They're not all just little flat boxes. There's uneven...
Which is cool, but I say, like, gameplay-wise, there's certain things like that that kind of irritate you because it's like a 15-second
terrain. You can fly up in the air, battle it out on the water.
Immersion.
They're just way more dynamic and interesting.
Like the first time seeing it, like, oh yeah, look, they gotta leave.
Not everything looks
and then
as good as the stuff that
like,
looks really good.
Leave.
Most in-game dialogue is delivered by, ventriloquist dummy versions of the characters, blank-faced and flapping their mouths like a Muppet. But when you have a roster this big, there's some stuff you just have to expect isn't going to be the best ever, despite being very good. Sparking Zero is not the best looking Dragon Ball game, but it's way above average. The presentation is super solid.
I say it's
Special shout out to the menus. They're packed with little details and funny little animations. I just wish some of the background characters would shut up after a while. When you're in the shop, do we really need to hear Bulma repeat the same 3 stock?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That shit is so annoying.
I'm not exaggerating.
It's
seriously that fast, and often you're getting the same line over and over again. They can't cool it with the background dialogue. Other than that,
but here's my point: if you're gonna have that critique, put that in the video, because I don't think it's any spoiler. Like, it doesn't have to be the character menu in the shop. It's literally like any menu in the shop. Bulma like, oh, I wish my husband spent this money on me. I wish Vegeta X. It takes you a while to shop. Like, it is like
menus are A+. Okay, so
it reminds
episodes
me of like
Multiverses,
like that first
are what
update.
We've covered. There's also regular battle options. You can go online or offline and play against AI opponents. Online is pretty bare bones. There's no rollbacks. Your opponent better have a good ping, otherwise it's going to get ugly. I only got online for a little bit to check it out. I really don't see this game being all that fun to play competitively. Like, it's intentionally unbalanced. The guys who suck in the anime suck in the game. Goku's the strongest. That's how it is. Is everyone going to play Goku versus Goku? Is that how you do this competitive?
Oh, this nigga's such a casual, bro. Yeah, Goku, MUI Goku is probably the strongest Goku. Goku Blue is strong. Super Gogeta is strong. Beerus, Whis are strong. I mean, Murzamatsu is strong. Hit's strong. Jiren, Topo. I'd say there's probably 15 separate characters that are top tier, because it's a DP system, so there's other 8s and 9s that are strong, but Broly, I hear what you're saying. It is 15 to 20 characters, but if you kind of know what you're doing and you understand the perception and all of the counter moves, you could use a team of Trump. Because here's the thing, it's a DP point, so you can use a team which is low-key kind of my favorite team to use that I've been choosing right now. It's Teen Trunk. It's either Teen Gohan or Adult Gohan. Then it's Bardock. Then it's, what's the other 4? It's Turles or maybe Oob. And then Raccoon. Because Raccoon is 3. So you got 4, 4. 4, 4, 4. Which is 12. Then I got my 3, which is Raccoon. Or you could throw a 5. So instead of Raccoon, it'd be Chaozu, and then it'd be Goku Black. So I got Turles, Goku Black, and like Teen Trunks or Adult Gohan, which is pretty cool because you got 4 characters. I think they all have 3 health. Raccoon has 4 for some reason, even though he's 3 points. Goku Black has 3. Bardock has 3, so that's 6 plus that's 10. Plus Chaozu that has 2. So I got 12 health bars through 4 characters. And since Raccoon has 4 health bars, I could lose 2 health bars is like Goku Black switch out to Raccoon, and as long as he switched out long enough, you actually can regain a lot of HP. So that's what I'm saying. There's certain teams you can pick. You can be Goku Black Zamasu with like Janemba, and Janemba has 4 health bars. Super Janemba gets a 5th one or another one. Then Murzamatsu. It's competitively viable.
Competitively online, I don't know. I'm clueless here. I don't know. Maybe there is something there, but that's not for me to say yes or no to. It's the kind of game where casual play sounds a lot more fun to me. So I'm pretty glad the game is unranked. But I haven't played the multiplayer enough to really cast judgment on it. I will judge the split screen mode though. It's not good. I'm glad the game at least includes.
They added it literally probably 6 months ago,
but
it's we can't be mad at it
for whatever reason. They made it so you can only play one stage offline. The hyperbolic time chamber, the one that's just an empty white void. So you can play with your friends, but it's the most boring bare bones stage imaginable. They had to have done this because they struggled to render more complex stages twice on the same screen. But come on, the game isn't like photoreal or anything. It's legitimately the most disappointing thing about the game. The mode is fun, though.
Xbox's
not gonna lie.
fault,
Tournaments
honestly.
are another staple of the series. They're done well here. There are a bunch of pre-made tournaments you can jump to either online or offline, along with custom-built ones you can make yourself. My favorite of the pre-made tournaments is the Yamcha games, where all the biggest chump characters compete to take on everyone's favorite loser. All the major tournaments from the series they're recreated here. They're a fun diversion, and you get some decent rewards for completing them, so I think they're pretty damn worthwhile. I mentioned the store earlier, but don't worry, it's not in-game microtransactions. Before release, I was a little worried how annoying the game would be with unlocking stuff, because all the pre-order bonuses were things like early unlocks and crap like that, but it's not a problem. The game throws Zenny, the in-game currency, at you hand over fist for doing everything, and there's multiple ways to unlock characters. A big chunk.
After doing an extensive amount of research, the only thing locked behind Dragon Balls is titles. It's titles. That's the only thing locked behind Dragon Balls. Everything else can be obtainable, I believe, through playing the game. Goku Black, Murzamatsu, you can play the game. You don't have to wish them. You can play through story mode, or you can get the max level and unlock them through the shop. The outfits from Goku, Vegeta, Master Roshi, and Yamcha, they're all obtainable in the shop. They're just super expensive. They're 300,000 zenny. So yeah, they're almost $250,000, a little bit over $250,000, which is a lot, because I don't even know if they have different voice lines or anything. But yeah, they're a lot. What else? Yeah, that's what, the shop is the shop. You can unlock everything via the shop.
Chunk of the cast is locked at the start of the game, but you get them for playing through the episodes, doing special bonus fights
that you probably don't care about.
Or you can just straight up buy them in the store when you get that sweet zenny. Anything you already have, you can get currency to make up for it, so there's no punishment for buying a character before you unlock them, for instance. The entire unlock system is rewardingly old school, but also a little more forgiving. There are a few characters that you only get by summoning Super.
See, we just went through that. That's not true. That's not true. You can get them early, but no, it's not true.
Shenron, which is another returning feature from the old games that involves completing challenges to earn Dragon Balls, but that's the worst it gets in unlockables. Is really fine. It's good, even. Like, when you think about what unlockables are like now, holy hell, this is absolutely the best game with unlockables in a long time. There's also a kind of power-up system where you can buy items to power up characters. Stuff like this makes me wary about playing online. The game's already unbalanced, and this stuff makes it even worse. But remember, this is first impressions, folks. I don't want to pretend I know how good or bad this game is to play competitively, or that I will ever be good enough to do so. I certainly haven't had enough time with it to make a judgment. But if we're just talking about the offline single-player options, then Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is an absolute blast to play. I said there's some minor disappointments. The biggest of them is the split-screen mode not being that great, but So what? If that were the worst thing about, like every game nowadays, like I would say gaming's in a pretty healthy state. But yeah, I'm happy that this game does what it does. And man, oh man, does it do it well. There's really nothing else quite like this game out there. It's got the most spectacular, high-flying battles of any 1v1 fighter, period. No questions. There's no competition for what this does, because I don't know if it's compatible with something that's not Dragon Ball. It does take some practice to get the hang of, but once you get there, it's wow. One of those games just feels really good. Give it an hour or two if you don't immediately click with it. It might be a little frustrating, but I promise
12
stick
hours
with
in,
it.
I'm still
it's
learning.
Very worth it. It's so much fun. It's the ultimate smash your toys together game. And if you have any fondness for Dragon Ball at all, you're probably going to like this game. Seriously.
I've never heard before.
It's honestly just so good to play and be able to talk about this game. I love it. I'm so excited that this series is back. But that's me. How about you? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed.
It's crazy because I would assume before, because I don't really watch before you buy, so I thought they were maybe more intensive or in deep dives, but no, not really. I mean, he give you a couple of paint. It's just the one, which maybe it's just because it's Dragon Ball. You don't know. And maybe he didn't get what it sounds like. He didn't get an what do you call it? Like a early key. You feel me? I don't want to watch reviews because I could care less about a review for an anime game. Anime games strive off the base fact that do you like the anime? Because if not, then you probably aren't gonna play it. Like if a Demon Slayer game comes out, you like Demon Slayer? Yeah, play the Demon Slayer game. You like Demon Slayer? No, don't play the Demon Slayer game. Like the new Bleach game. If you don't like Bleach, don't play it. Hunter x Hunter game. If you don't like Hunter x Hunter, don't play it. The only difference is I'd say it's a arc system game, so it's going to play just like Fighters or Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Grand Blue. So if you're into those type of fighting games and you want a new one, definitely play the Hunter x Hunter game. But for the most part, anime games is like if you're not a fan of that type, like it's not like it's a party game or something. You like, oh, you like party games? Go play. It's like, no, bro, it's a Dragon Ball Z game. You like Dragon Ball? Play it. If you hate Dragon Ball, why would you be playing this shit? But yeah, no, this shit was pretty decent. Pretty good. And let me know. Him saying Ginyu and Siba Man or whatever. That shit grinded my gears.